Hello everybody, I am back with a throwing training video. I really thought I was done with this series because, to be honest, I thought I was done with trying to improve throwing. I basically hit a wall, but recently I had seen Seekr Disc Golf's Robot Drill video, and it resembled training that I'd seen in the past, but I liked the way he explained it, so I felt like I could try it. So I did actually try it out on a course, failed miserably, but Sean learned about it, so I sent him the video. He watched it, and the next day, or a subsequent day, we went and we played Seekr Disc Golf, which, if you seen the previous video, that's the Perfection Challenge we did. And literally right out the gate, Sean went to the tee pad, did the drill, and threw perfectly, or pretty darn good, I'll say. He basically replicated the form that was trained in the video, at least to my naked eye. I'll be editing that video tonight, and it'll come out what to you guys will be the previous morning. And but I was kind of awestruck. He basically caught on to it immediately. He just did it, and he did it repeatedly throughout the day. And I tried it, and I was pretty hit or miss. So I decided to come here out to a field to watch the video in the moment and then try to replicate what I was doing in the moment. So what I'm about to show you is what I just did a moment ago. But before I do that, I want to show you the discs that I'm currently using, just so you know what I'm using. I went with bright yellow, so it can be easily found out there because I don't want to spend a lot of time searching. But I've got like an R Pro AVR, Champion AVR, an Omega 4, which is a Champion, is essentially P2 in Champion plastic, an original mold P2, and Innova XD Plus, which is actually kind of a driver of sorts for a putter, the Luster Champion Invader, XT Stud, Star Stud, and XT AVR 3. These are about as straight of flying putters as I can use without busting out my putting putter DX AVRs. They're all warped and deformed, whereas these are all relatively smooth. So what I'm going to do is show you the very first attempt in this next clip.
Parallel, right? Straight across with your chest. Your target is to the right. Bend your knees a little bit and just get loose. Take your disc, preferably a putter, or if you don't have a disc, no problem. Create this 90-degree angle, an L, with your arm, okay? Stick your disc right here. What I want you to do is keep your left hand down, right hand out like this, almost like a table surface. First step is to come out with your disc. To come out from your chest, out from your body, out from your pecs. Come out, then I want you to swivel your shoulders and chest and even hips. Come back. You're gonna feel some tension in the abs. You're gonna feel some tension in the back part of your shoulder blades. Then what I want you to do is come back to the spot where you just came, and then I want you to extend. And we'll throw here in just a second. So altogether it looks like this.
So what you saw was essentially a first take. I basically just started watching the video and hit record, so you saw all of that. So when I learned how to throw discs in disc golf, it was essentially the lawnmower method. I was trying to pull through a straight line as smoothly as possible, which I'm sure a lot of people were doing successfully, but I was unable to duplicate it very well. I was able to sort of mimic the straight line by lowering my elbow, lowering my shoulders, thus creating less of a movement like this, because it's less of a stark contrast on a completely horizontal plane, whereas when you're doing this with the elbow more tucked in. And so I learned how to play disc golf essentially using this method, which is crap. It's crap because your elbow and your arms and your shoulders, your wrist, the hinge, does not have that 90-degree angle, which allows the greatest mechanical leverage for throwing a disc. Furthermore, the disc isn't actually pulled through 100% straight through. It basically goes out, goes in, and then goes out, and you eject the disc that way. And so I built 3 years of muscle memory basically doing this. And I can throw pretty good doing this way, generally speaking, despite all of its mechanical disadvantages and difficulty in replicating, simply because I did it for years, and that's wrong. So essentially what I have to do, stagger the feet, bring this up, and get used to the idea that I'm going out, in, and out. And so whether or not you do it this way, and then do it that, or you do this way, and that's what I'm trying to build. So I'm now trying to tear down muscle memory of old and build muscle memory anew. So that's why I'm making this video. So I'm just going to try to remember to do it like this, but I may forget and just do this and like that. I'm not set on doing it this way or set on doing it this way. What I'm set on doing is pulling through correctly, in and out, going from out, in, out. So round 2, fight. I'm making more of an effort to bring it in and let it come out. But since this is really the first time I'm doing it like this, it's not going to be as smoothly as a lot of you do it out there. So my apologies. Here's my champion AVR. And I gotta remember not to do that, to where you can see it like that. Not perfect, but one thing you'll notice, these have been more accurately going out that way than flying all over the place, which if you watch any of my videos, you've seen that quite a bit, haven't you? I pulled that in too much. That said, I crushed it. I'm throwing these putters right now as far as I've ever thrown putters, so I guess I can't really complain. I just need to not do that, right? And try not to get this in the way. Okay, I threw that too high, but I feel like I'm kind of getting that better, so. And you'll notice basically everything else about what I'm doing is probably still mechanically wrong, but I'm trying to do as many right things as possible so that I can look at this film later and do better. That's about 180, maybe more. But the fact that these are generally going the direction that I'm aiming is makes me happy. I feel like if I could actually do this on a disc golf course, I think I could get better scores. It's the most overstable disc that I am currently throwing, although it's not dramatically overstable. All right, threw it with some hyzer, but I otherwise liked it. Now I'm going to show you some side view throws so you can see what this looks like from over there. All right, so I've rearranged things. I've moved the cart and camera over here, but I'm throwing in exactly the same direction. I also adjusted the marker to where I'm actually behind it, whereas before I had it just off camera and I was right in front of it for easier viewing. Anyways, I'm not necessarily going to put all these discs in the same order, but generally speaking, I'm going to have them in roughly the same order. So I'm going to show you what this looks like when I do it this way. I'm going to bring this rear foot back, an athletic stance. And obviously I need to work on everything else, but all I'm working on today is the robot drill. So out to the pecs, there, that, and that's how I'm going to throw. So I'm going to do that. Out, in, out motion. See? Muscle memory. That went perfectly dead straight. I don't know how accurately I did this. I have a feeling the elbow I pulled down a little bit, so I'm going to try to keep it up. Getting out that athletic stance. I threw that high. I think I was trying to compensate with my elbow, but again, about 200 feet dead straight. That kind of pulled out a little bit, but it's 10 feet to the right of the middle one. So I'm going to be reviewing this footage later. I can't tell for sure what I'm doing wrong, but I bet money I'm dropping this elbow. I want to basically do that. I shot it out that way. I pulled it out and it did that. Man, if I would have learned this 3 years ago, I'd be a much better thrower. There we go. Went dead straight and then fading towards the end. And again, I know none of these are actually probably perfect, but maybe it's an improvement. See, I'm trying not to kill it. I did use a little force. These are all, with the exception of one that I shanked that way, 200 feet away, straightish within the furthest one, and the most on each direction is probably about 30 feet. So if anything, training myself to do that is good. By the way, there's a divot here. So there we go. I did this. So that was depressing. I'm gonna go collect these and give you a report. All right, I took my hat off since the sun's not in my eyes. Okay, so these two that I earlier released, because I did that, we're about 130 feet away, about 10 feet apart. Not good. And then the rest of these are all within 30 feet of each other. And if you had a diameter circle, these are all in about 30-foot range, with the middle being about maybe 190. So that's good. I'm not going to arrange these in any particular order. So I'm going to see if I can. I know I've got to throw like that. Like I can't do that because that's what I've been doing. I'm going to try maybe a one-step kind of deal. So let's do And I'm not going to do that thing. I'm going to try to remember the principles of that. So. Well, that was cooked. I don't know if I did that with the correct form, but I cooked that one. That's like 220 for me. That's cooked. A little low. This is me just effing around. I want to see if this is even worth it. Hilarious. About 170, a little bit off to the right. Okay, that's not good. Okay, back to the basics. Had to try it. I wanted to see if I could put, bring some movement into it. Threw that to the ground. So yeah, the moment I try to use my sense of feel and connection to my body, I think my old form screws it up. That was like a Matt Oram throw. That was good, a little high. It's about 190 out. Would have been 200 if I put it lower. Okay. Kind of grip lock that. So yeah, basically for me to even succeed with the robot drill, I have to be very robotic, which is kind of sad. So there's no way I can build muscle memory, this into muscle memory right now. I have to just do this and that went out perfect. So all right, well, that's given me a lot to think about. I'm actually going to do a lot more of this off camera. Hope you like this video. If I make more breakthroughs, I'll bring out more videos like this. So please subscribe if you haven't already. I do have more interesting disc golf content coming up. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.